Hey YouTube, this is Orion making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. This is another different video that I normally do. A good friend of mine from ABF, Australian Blade Forums, sent me this book, which was a gift, and it was very much appreciated. Just before Christmas, he sent it to me. And he knew I was a fan of Dave Canterbury. And I've been reading it since I got it. And it's one I didn't have before. And I really enjoyed it. I've read most of it now. And it just basically started off with the 5c's, and I have built the 5c's before, but I didn't actually have a 5c's kit, a dedicated 5c's kit built up. So I thought I would build up a 5c's kit. And that's what this video is. It's a 5c's kit, but the 5c's kit doesn't actually suit Australia very well. It's mainly keyed towards America, and that's all well and good. Dave lives over in America. Fine, no dramas. And so I've basically adapted it to suit me. I live in Australia, so I've adapted it to suit me. His focus on fire is all well and good. I am a self-confessed pyromaniac. I love fire too, and no dramas. I add fire to my kits, but most of the time in Australia it's bloody hot all the time. And we don't necessarily need fire as much as it seems to be focused on in the 5 and 10Cs. So while I do put a lot of fire in the 5C's kit, I don't necessarily go as... I change it around a little bit. Mainly with his focus on flint and steel. For those that don't know, flint is very rare in Australia. It basically doesn't, you just don't find it. It doesn't occur naturally laying around in Australia. So you won't find flint just laying around. You will find some chert, maybe some quartz, and other rocks like that. Down in South Australia, you will maybe find some flint. Sometimes you might find flint around in Australia, but basically you're not going to find it just lying around like they do in other parts of the world. So flint and steel is not the biggest focus. For me, in Queensland, it's called the Sunshine State for a reason. We get a bloody lot of sunshine. So I actually like magnifying lenses or Fresnel lenses more than flint and steel. So I actually use magnifying glasses over flint and steel any time of the day, because I can get a piece of char cloth in about half a second with a magnifying glass, a light, an ember on, no dramas, straight away. And that for me is a perfect solution. And that's the way I go. So every time I see anyone who uses flint and steel, good on them, no dramas. but I've adapted it to use, I'd rather use a magnifying glass or a Fresnel lens rather than flint and steel. I will have flint and steel occasionally, but I actually like ferro rods personally. That's the way I go. But anyway, that's with that. Plus, the 5c's doesn't cover first aid kits, and it doesn't have snakebite kits. In Australia, we have the most poisonous snakes in the world. That's without question. You have a look up the top 20 most poisonous snakes. The first 10 you'll find are in Australia, and like number 8 or 9 is where they start coming into other countries. The most poisonous snake, the inland taipan, the fierce snake, like he only has to look at you cross-eyed and you die. He is poisonous. Although there has never been, I can't remember I don't think there has been a recorded death of him in the last 50 years or something. We've got anti-venoms for them. But anyway, snakes you have to be worried about them. Common brown snake in Australia, you get bitten by him, he's going to make you really crook really quick. So we have to worry about snakes. Funnel web spiders, redback spiders. We get the short end of the stick here in Australia as far as poisonous animals go. We've got a lot of them. They're really bad. So we've got to worry about that. So we have, for the 5c's, I add first aid kit and a snakebite kit straight away. That's without question. So plus water. With the 5c's kit, he doesn't seem to add enough water as far as I'm concerned. So with my 5c's kit, I add an extra water carriage into it straight away. But anyway, onto my 5c's kit. I use this book as my starter. I won't mention who gave this book to me, but if he does watch this video, mate, you are a champion and it's very much appreciated. Very gracious of you. Thank you very much. I've read it. I pretty well read it all, but yeah, thanks, mate. Very much appreciated. Anyway, my 5c's kit. I found these. I added this in too because, again, another dry sack from, there's a retailer here in Australia called Aldi. They're selling them for like $10 for 3 packs of them. I only just recently bought a 20 litre one for, I think it was about $15. Anyway, I put that one in my 5c's kit. That's the medium one. So that straight up, no dramas. Canteen. I like these ones, the stainless steel ones. I got another one. I think these are about $25 landed. They're a little bit expensive, but yeah, I like the stainless steel ones with the nesting cup, because you can boil water in them. Plus, if you take the lid off, because it's got a plastic bit in them, you can boil water in them as well. Take the cup off, you just take that bit off and take that off. You can boil water in both. So they're a good option. Paracord and hanker paracord. I don't think there's 100 feet there. I think it's a bit shy, but anyway, full thing of 36 bankline. I put an emergency survival blanket plus an 8-foot by 6-foot tarp in the bag, and it's again just that messenger bags. I use them a lot. I buy a heap of them. I've got a heap of them around. The tarp goes in there because they want cover, so I use the tarps. They're cheap. They're about $8, $7 from the $2 shops. I buy them. They're not real high quality, but they're not too bad, just as a cover. And then I use an emergency bag, emergency survival blankets for regulation of temperature and cover. The tarp uses it, cover, and then that, and then the fire kit. I am actually going to replace this. I've got it coming. I've just bought a generic pocket organizer because I'm going to put all the fire kit. I've got the ferro rod. This is a blast match. Enough said about that. Magnesium rod, duct tape, candle, pocket bellows, clipper lighter, and a peanut lighter. The generic Chinese store matches, three little lucifer surefires, the little lucifers, and then a tin to make char cloth if I have to, fresnel lens in a little cover so that it doesn't get damaged, some aluminium foil wrapped up. I always like that stuff. That's my magnifying glass wrapped up in a piece of denim so that it doesn't get scratched. I won't take it out. Bit of jute twine. I have made up some char cloth there. I've got a sail needle put on the bottom of the taped to the bottom of the tin, and that one is more char cloth. I will add in, I'm going to do a batch of char cloth up this afternoon. I'm just waiting it to cool down a little bit. It's been pretty reasonable here in Brisbane this afternoon, but I am going to wait until it cools down a little bit more. I'm going to add some more char cloth into this. That's not enough as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to fill that bag up with char cloth. But as I said, they'd probably want, in the 5c's, he normally just says a ferro rod, and basically the ferro rod and striker, but I went a little bit overboard again. But all that will probably be, not probably, I have got it on the way. I've got a generic pocket organizer, and that'll be put into a pocket organizer, and then that'll condense the kit up more. Once that all goes into the, it all goes back into that kit there, fits it in. Then I add in, I think that's a 1.7 litre canteen. It's got Puri tabs in there just for water purification. As I said, I like to add more water carriage into there. Full first aid kit. I won't open it up. It's fully stocked. It's got a heap of stuff in there. As I said, the 5c's doesn't cover first aid as far as I'm concerned. That goes quite a fair way into first aid. Yeah, you have to go to first aid as far as I'm concerned. And that's my snakebite kit. Next 72 hours. Really good snakebite kit, Australian made. Really good one. That's the one I use anyway. I've got a couple of these. I put them in all my kits. They're good, really good bit of gear. They've got all the compression bandages that you use, Sharpie, so you can mark the bite out. The whole lot. It's got everything you need ready to go. To complete the 5c's, cutting tool. That's not my bushcraft knife. I'm a hunter. I'm more a hunter than a bushcrafter. So that's my current hunting knife, my outdoorsman. And he usually wants a folding saw. I normally say I don't spend a lot of money on saws. The Trailblazer, now discontinued. The company's gone out of business, but I just wanted to show you I've got different saws for different kits, but that's the one I'd probably use for this one. And a axe. Again, different axe for a different tool, different kit. My tomahawk this time, my trail hawk. And then I'd have pocket knife and multi-tool today. My Leatherman Wingman never changes. And I've got that in my pocket today. And that's my 5c's. Just another different video. So that's my 5c's kit. Dedicated 5c's kit. And yeah, another interesting exercise. And I'll as I said, I'll put my fire kit into a dedicated pocket organizer, so it'll be all right. And once that goes into the messenger bag, these ones here would probably fit in the dry sack. Like all of that would fit in the dry sack. That'd go on my belt. Tomahawk would go on my belt. I'd probably try and fit that in the top of the messenger bag. I'd be able to carry it all. It'd be no dramas. That'd fit in the messenger bag as well, you know. That'd go on my belt. You could fit that on your belt, you know. Yeah, you could carry it all. It'd be no dramas. And actually you could hang that over around as well, so it'd be no dramas to fit it all on. But anyway, that's just another kit I've built recently because of a gift that a mate of mine from ABF gave me for this, which was very much appreciated. Anyway, thanks for watching.